in central Pennsylvania. How y'all doing out there? It's a reaction to Julius Malema's sentencing. That's what we're here for. So if you want to jump in the chat and join me, discuss the sentencing of Julius Malema, Julius Cello Malema, today convicted, well, previously convicted, today sentenced to 5 years in prison, which he will appeal. And he's made some pretty ridiculous comments. And as soon as I start broadcasting, the wind starts. There was no wind before I started. The moment I start, here comes the wind. It's been here for 10 minutes, not one breeze coming by. And the moment I start to, it's like when I sat down here earlier, nobody out here. And this isn't even designated smoking area over here. Yet these people show up out here and start smoking. Anyway, such is life. That's just the way it goes. Anyway, that wind is really annoying. So can't really turn away from it. So, all right. Well, if we get anybody showing up here, it'd be nice. But feel free to jump in the conversation. If you've got a comment or a question about the sentencing of Julius Malema, feel free to jump in there and I'll do my best to answer it or address it while we're here. So this wind is really getting out of control. So, you know, it's like people sabotage me around here. So I went to record the video about Malema's reaction, his reaction to it. And a dump truck, a trash truck showed up and banging trash cans around and making all kinds of noise. So that was the first thing. So I had to wait 10 minutes for them to leave the area. Then I start recording, and in the midst of my video, here comes a Coca-Cola delivery truck. Hey, Neff, how's it going? Yeah, 2 people here. What's up with that, YouTube? Talking about some serious stuff. Anyway, so then now I mean, none of this noise is making sense. Now somebody's drilling over here. I can hear a construction site, someone bang. This is unbelievable. Everything was quiet 5 minutes ago. I set up here because it was quiet. And now we got Coca-Cola delivery trucks. We've got trash trucks. These people on this loading dock weren't doing anything. Now they're over here running little Kubotas around. You know, video feed. There's a video feed here. I can see it fine. These people keep driving the wrong way down a one-way street here. That's fascinating. Keep seeing them do that. Anyway, but yeah, so we're here to talk about Malema. And anyone, what's this no video feed comment? Is someone else having that problem, or is it just you? One thing for sure, the notifications aren't going out because only 15 people are here. And I'm just a little bit early. There's 19. Oh, there you go. You can see my jowls. That's not funny. Okay. All right. All right. All good feed. Thank you very much for that, West House. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's so Malema in East London was sentenced today by Magistrate Toinette Olivier to 5 years in prison. Those of you who predicted a prison sentence last night, but not a long one, you won the poll. Most people, the plurality, not a majority, but plurality of people said he would get a slap on the hand. Well, it's no slap on the hand. It's a hey, there's Sean Fulshank. Hey, Sean, you don't have to be here. You feeling chastised? Yeah, so 5 years. Can you believe it? No, it's all right there, Neff. I got it. Autocorrect. But are you surprised? Is anybody here surprised? Let's ask that. I don't know. I can't really do a poll here very well on the mobile, but are you guys surprised? Is anybody surprised by the verdict? Let's see, no, it doesn't let me do that. Okay. It does let me mute and hide my video while I'm here. That's interesting. So I can actually hide the video. Never tried to use that before. Nadine, welcome to you, Nadine. So let me read to you some of the things he said, okay? Malema spoke after the sentencing was handed down. He went outside and he said this was not an easy day. Yeah, I think that's the understatement of the year. This was definitely not an easy day for Julius Sellotape Malema, who was sentenced to 5 years in prison, much to his chagrin. He tried to hoodwink the court. He, of course, naturally calls the magistrate a racist. You're expecting usual political exemption, yep. Well, Ronell, that's a whole different story, whether he goes to jail or not. That is entirely different kettle of fish. Entirely different kettle of fish. That is something that will be determined later on, because I think he'll take a Stalingrad defense like Jacob Zuma and just stretch this thing out. You would say he knew, huh? Will you ever see this out of jail? I don't know. Yeah, it's a YouTube thing. They I don't know if it's they're having issues or it's your feed or they're shadow banning my channel, but they do lots of things to frustrate my viewers. See, right now we just hit 99, but it's been 5 minutes up. A couple days ago, we had 500 people within 5 minutes. So, you know, it's just this and that. I'm a little bit earlier than I have been the past few days, but not by much. The cancerous ideology started with Mandela. Well, no, it started long before Mandela, but it certainly was perpetrated and carried on. But Malema said today was not an easy day. I think that's an understatement of epic proportions. Do you not? Do you guys think so? I mean, seriously, the dude. Well, he does think he's above the law, Coco, and this is a great message to him and to all the other fools out there. Well, it's not odd, Deutsche Board, because he's not in the ANC. It's easy to go after him. I didn't hear him call her an ugly white woman. I didn't see that. I didn't hear it all. So, yeah, well, he'll probably get charged with more crimes then. You get my notification 3 to 5 days after I do a live stream. See, that's pure suppression or incompetence, highest order. Now, I'll have to watch what he said after it. I didn't see it. Side of good, we'll take anyone that we can. Yep. Yeah, I have to watch the whole thing. I just read some of the comments, but I didn't know he called her an ugly white woman. Well, you know, he's going to find, you know, he'll get another prison sentence. He keeps up. The process now is appeal goes to the high court. The high court can listen to it or they can refuse to hear it. They should refuse to hear it. There's no merit to his appeal whatsoever. His sentencing was handled professionally and legitimately and fairly. It's high time that this person wind up in prison where he belongs. Suppose, but I think they're all in bed together, so I thought it would be protected like Zuma. No. The only one there that's protected is Ramaphosa. The others are just terrified. They're just using every legal, Zuma's just using every legal tool at his disposal. But no, Ramaphosa is being protected. The others aren't. What did Carl Niehaus do to AfriForum? So that he had a fair trial, was found guilty, but he is still free. Well, yeah, I think he should have been remanded, honestly. Especially the one with Jacques Brooke. All I can do is laugh. What are you talking about, Nikki? Some of the videos going around with Jacques Brudrick. I included Jacques Brudrick in one of my videos. What are you referring to? I'm not aware what that is. Can you please tell me what you're talking about? All in all, I'm just enjoying the small win. Yep, tiny judge gave him 5 years. Wonder how much the legal fees. At least on a warning, so he should be very, very careful. You're right about that, Sean. Sean, you're absolutely correct about that. He was released on a warning, so he could already find himself going to jail for what he said today, potentially. Yeah, hold your thumbs. Exactly. That's a good point. Brr, pa. Yep, exactly. Will America ever step with local on-the-ground action? I would not hold my breath on that. Tiny judge is a legend. Yeah. So this is 2 court cases he's lost in recent history. He lost a case against Dante van Wyk for inciting violence that was directed against Dante van Wyk, exhorting his followers to attack people. So unfortunately for Dante van Wyk, his life is in jeopardy and he's on the run because EFF has threatened to kill him and they're hunting him down. Sorry, disturbing me there. Yeah, so this is 2 court cases he's lost now, and it's just a series that he's going to lose. If he ran his mouth too much about the judgment outside the court, he's going to wind up finding himself in deep trouble. The appointment of Rolf Meyer as ambassador negative impact. No, it'll have no impact whatsoever on the refugee program, none whatsoever. Oh, he'll become someone's special friend in prison. He was threatening Jacques Brudrick. Yeah, Carl Niehaus is on a short leash. He is, that guy's not long for this world, the way he's behaving. Somebody's going to deal with him eventually. That's unfortunate because we don't like to see people resort to violence, but his behavior is going to lead to that. Carl Niehaus needs to be muzzled. He is just an opportunist of the highest order who simply latches onto whatever corrupt scheme he can find. The court were just funny. He doesn't take anything seriously. Okay, thank you. Well, I don't know. I didn't get to watch it, guys. I had to get some sleep last night. Yep. So Niehaus. Yeah, I got to see what Carl Niehaus said. Yep. Yeah. So we'll see. But I didn't. I mean, apparently there's a lot of chaos and nonsense that happened around this that I missed. There you go. It's a butthole of the year. Yeah, that guy's just a fool. Remember how he went to escort and he got arrested trying to get Jacob Zuma out of prison? Second interview. Okay, cool. Well, he can leave court because he appealed. She gave him the leave to appeal, the right to appeal his case. And so she could have had him remanded, but she didn't. Some woman said Afriform is terrorist while busy with journalist live interview. Yeah, no, Afriform, these are just racist idiots and bigots. It's a victory. Overall, Feener, it's a victory, yes. You're a software engineer, if you're doing a country, there's 93% of them working. Yeah, exactly. Well, what does a country do when it removes 93% of its software engineers? It is to revert to the 13th century. Yeah, vodka, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, it's so these are just morons. Anyone that calls Afriform terrorist is just a racist idiot, doesn't understand who they are. Yeah, it's shocking how racist so many South Africans actually are. Yeah, your white agriculture minister and your white ambassador. It's true. Higher courts have, they all have ANC. Everyone's an ANC appointee. What do you mean by that? That logic doesn't follow, Shannon. Every judge is an ANC appointee. There are no exceptions. So what do you mean that the higher court has ANC? You know, she was appointed by the ANC, and she gave up this verdict. I'm not saying he's going to go to jail, but I'm just saying that logic doesn't hold. You can only appeal the sentence, not the charges. Yeah, he might get another court increasing his sentence. Exactly. I think 5 years was a slap on the wrist too. This man endangered public safety. He fired. And he tried, and he insulted the intelligence of South Africans. Oh, well, it was a toy gun. It wasn't a toy gun. Then they didn't even give him a charge for, tampering with evidence. He tampered with evidence. Remember that? He and one of his security guys colluded to tamper with evidence. They tried to remove the receiver from the rifle to pretend that. Hang on a second here. To pretend that to thwart the ballistics test. They perverted the means of justice. They tampered with evidence. Those should have been charges too. The fact that those weren't included is a gift to him. But yeah, he's walking on thin ice. Yep. And I agree with Sean that this is a ridiculously light sentence, 3 to 5 years. I was hoping to get that because I thought that's realistic, and it was. But I would much rather seen it at the high end. This man fired 15 rounds from a 9mm into the air, endangering public safety recklessly with 20,000 people gathered around him. Thinking he's some sort of soldier. You're not. You're just a wuss with a big head the size of a melon and a brain the size of a pea. And then he got a rifle and fired 7 shots. That's not spontaneous. That's pre-planned. As the judge said, this was the event, the shooting of the gun in the air. People trying to intimidate and frighten white South Africans. It's just race hustling. Badmouth county judge at his speech afterwards. You should be careful. Yeah, well, he's going to wind up in jail. Yeah, you're right. They can't spell for him. Okay. Trail moves. The trail? What trail? The trial? There's no trial. The trial's over. So is it going to be a 5-year in and out of court matter? Well, we'll see. Okay, I hope the judge life is not in danger. Yeah, well, I suspect her life is in danger, but yeah. Perjury. Well, I'm not sure how did he perjure himself? Right, the magistrate has discretion to release the accused pending the outcome of his appeal, which is what she did. I would have made him put up a bond. How did he lie to the court, Snippets? I mean, please tell us what he did. First it was toy gun, then it was only 1 bullet. Isn't that perjury? Oh, I get your point. Yeah, okay. Well, that is perjury. Yeah, he should have been charged with perjury too. People are so corrupt, Malema will never see the inside of prison, says David Potgieter. Can Juju still be in politics? He can, pending his appeal, stay in the parliament. But I've called on South Africa's parliament earlier today to remove him from the Judicial Services Commission. This person who's a convicted felon should not be on that body to begin with, picking judges. That doesn't make any sense. He doesn't warrant that sort of attention or that sort of right to be on a Judicial Services Commission. So I've called for the Parliament to suspend him from the Judicial Services Commission. He can't be kicked out of Parliament yet, but if he loses his appeal and goes to prison, since it's a custodial sentence beyond 12 months and there was no fine that he could pay to get out of it, he will be removed from Parliament for the duration of his prison sentence. When he's out of prison from 5 years afterwards, he can't serve in Parliament. So potentially he could be out of Parliament for 10 years. No, it's perjury. Is lying on earth. The appeal, oh, the appeal court. Yes, that's correct. Okay. The appeals court. Yes, you are correct. But we're talking about this case, not the appeal. Oh yeah, that was a toy gun, I suppose. There you go. There you go. That's a fair point. That's perjury. You know, you're right. He lied in court. That's a good point. That's why I was asking what your point was. So I mean, what do you guys say? I mean, you know, I mean, it's I wish I could do a poll here, but I can't on my mobile. It doesn't work. Let me see if I can try it over here. No, it doesn't let me do that. It just doesn't let me set polls up here. Unfortunately, that sucks. Yeah, glad it's over. It's painful to watch the accused on Ozempic. As far as we saw the inside of a jail, zero trust system. Well, I understand that, Dylan. I understand where you're coming from there. Hey, Carl Rasmus, what's up? Good to see you there. So a little bit difficult out here. I came out and recorded that video. A dump truck came along, a trash truck, and collected trash and banged cans around. I had to wait 10 minutes for him to leave. Then a Coca-Cola delivery truck comes by here and makes all this damn noise. I had to wait for them to leave. And then I finished the video. I sit down here, and these cancer addicts come out here with their cigarettes and start smoking, and the wind is blowing from west to east, and it blows right in my face. So I was smoking more cigarette than they were. With my asthma, I couldn't breathe here, so I had to walk away. I walked over there, and I got hit in the face with a gust of wind, and I dropped my phone, and I dropped my glasses. Geez. So I came back over here. I've got my jacket off because even though the sun is covered, it's very hot out here. Not happy. It's the business as usual for him. Well, yeah, exactly. He will do 3 years and get out in 2 years parole. That would make sense. Yep. Well, he's a convicted felon. He shouldn't be allowed to serve in Parliament. Yeah, Sean says, a prison sentence now that uniquely qualifies you for a job as president of the Republic. Well, that's true. That's true. The higher he will go in the system, the less chance he would spend 1 minute in jail. Who supports him? Mackenzie? I don't know about that. Fikile? Andile? Yeah, I don't know about Mackenzie supporting him. Where do you get that from? That's news to me. I didn't know that he would be supporting him. That's not something I heard about before. So anyway, so reactions. All right, let's do this. Answer with a one word. Well, not one word, but so let's see. How do we do this without a poll? So I want you to answer this question about the sentence. Was the sentence enough or not enough? So just answer that way. The 5-year sentence for Julius Malema, was it enough or not enough? Hey, Sig, what's up? Yeah, Paula. No, what is no? No, what is no? Not enough. Are you guys, you mean it's not enough? Disappointed. I'll take that as no, as a not enough. So I guess the no's are not enough. And there we go. Finally, somebody wrote down when I asked them to write down was Michelle. No, not enough. Okay, not one person said it was sufficient. Highly disappointing. Well, I mean, seriously, we got a prison sentence for him of 5 years, which would disqualify him from Parliament. I mean, that's shocking. Hey, Anna, what's up? Yeah, definitely not, but not at least something. That's a good approach, Anna. You always want in prison, never enough. Yeah, you're right, Dylan. He's always pushed for prison. He's going to get it now, maybe. We'll see. All right. So, no, it was not enough. He's in danger in more ways than just this. Oh, he is in danger in more ways. You're right. I covered some of that in my analysis earlier, the video I put up. By the way, folks, I have a very busy morning here this morning. I did 4 videos this morning. I did an interview with Dr. Corney Mulder. Please go watch that. He is right, the instigator of many gruesome deaths. I agree. Con de Bruyne, imagine the sweet day if High Court turns the sentence. He gives it. Yeah, they could make it go higher. His appeal could backfire him. Yep. Never long enough. He should be locked away and the keys thrown away. I wonder if he will join. The gangs? I don't know. Yep. So he hasn't gone to prison yet. This will drag on for years, says 1440. That's possible. That is possible. But, you know, maybe he'll get his way and get an urgent interdict, and the Court of Appeals will hear it soon, and then they'll double his sentence. He can be charged with contempt of court, I'm sure. ANC and Cupcake will say if the small party leader doesn't serve any time for this. Yeah, that's exactly right. How is the ANC going to address this? The President of the Republic, what's his response? I got a response already from Jacques Boudric from AfriForum, and I got a response from Corney Mulder. Corney Mulder, I interviewed him right after the verdict came out. So, yeah, life is no better today than it was yesterday. As I said, another Malema will come along. Chant is still legal. Let's see. Okay. Oh, it can be dragged out forever. Jacob Zuma was charged in the arms scandal 2.5 decades ago. Won't serve more than 1/3 of a sentence. Well, I don't disagree with that. But Chris Haney's murderer spent the whole sentence, didn't he? He's in there forever. What Waldish guy, the Polish guy, he was in prison forever. Zuma's not in parliament, and he was convicted of contempt of court, not for the arms deal. Well, Carl Rasmus, that's what I said. I didn't know you reached London, but I said that nothing will come of this. Nothing will come of this. I don't know if he'll gain weight in prison. Probably lose more weight. What is that noisy thing? Anyway, what about Shabir Sheikh? Why are you asking about Shabir Sheikh? What does that got to do with anything? What's the point there? Back in Poland for 25 years, but he spent 25 years in prison because he was white. Yep. Yep. I think the appeals court could very well refuse the case. There's no merit to it. But I hope they actually hear it and then double or triple a sentence. Yes, double or triple a sentence. Malema must be given 1 year minimum sentence after appeal as any sentence less than this will not. No. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, Big Fish. Yes, he's got to have more than 12 months. It can't be 12 months. It's got to be more than 12 months. So the law says. Yep. Don't drop the soap. Yes, Shabir Sheikh can tell you medical parole is amazing. Yep. Gotta love being ignored. Who's ignoring you, Wildbear? Who's ignoring you? All right, some of the things that he had. Oh, by the way, this is hilarious. Was it Brett Herron in the DA at one point from the Good for Nothing party? Brett Herron. He was in the DA originally, was he not? Before he teamed up with Tani Pat and went over to the Good for Nothing party. I wrote an email and they went back. Oh wow, wow! Congratulations, Anna. That's fantastic. Have you sorted out the interpreter problem? I don't want to get into that, but send me a note. I have to steal a lot of coin to pay for the appeal. Yep. Yep. So yeah, the Good for Nothing party. Wasn't Brett Herron in the DA? Can somebody answer that question? Yes, golf is an amazing cure. I haven't seen it, Nicola. I was working. So I have to go back and listen to it, and I will, and then I'll use the footage, and we'll go after him. Yep. So yeah. So Brett Herron, since somebody's answering me that. No, Juju is relevant because he incites people to murder, and he needs to be silenced in prison. So the Good for Nothing party, Brett Herron, he's the Secretary General for them. If in your experience, how would you have the average court case handled? Yes, in the state's different preparations. Well, the law is the law. I mean, you have a right to a speedy trial. You have a guaranteed constitutional right to a trial by jury of your peers. You can waive that, but you can, but you have a right to it. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to not be hit with unreasonable bail. You have lots of rights. So most likely, it depends on the nature of the offense. The judge can put you in prison or and refuse bail, although a lot of places, these leftist places, have just gotten rid of bail. I wouldn't worry about going to work tomorrow. They didn't do anything today, everything tomorrow. 48 hours beforehand. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if that's because you got in touch with them or anyway, I've been pinging people about that. But Brett Herron says that the sentence felt harsh, unduly harsh. He said the state's request for a 15-year sentence appeared performance rather than restorative. Seriously, Brett Herron, it's not about restorative. It's about punitive. He needs to be punished. He is unrepentant. There's no restorative here. Julius Malema will not reform. There's no restoration here. He needs to be punished, punitive. That's the purpose of a sentence. I would bet good money that Jerry now of our firm is busy putting together a locus standi application to speak. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Exactly. He was in the DA back in 2018. That's what I'm saying. I want to make sure I didn't get that incorrect. I'm pretty sure he was in the DA, but he's in the good for nothing party now. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what was that uncalled for? What did I miss? What did I miss? I don't see what's uncalled for there. So Ambassador Souther, I don't think Trump will accept him. No, he'll accept him. There's no reason for him to not accept him. There's no basis for it. There's no basis for it. Well, he should talk to Thabo Bester about how to get out of prison. He knows how to do it, who to bribe and who to pay. Thabo Bester can tell him that. Yep. It's an ambassador. So no, Rolf Meyer will be accepted by the Trump administration. There's no basis to reject him. It will just look spiteful if they reject him. There's no value added to doing that. There's nothing to be gained by rejecting him. 5 years for possession, 1 minute for 1 minute. You just got fined for shooting it. Huh. Who called somebody an ape? No remorse, possibly not inciting violence towards the judge, uncalled for racial slurs. Yeah, list goes on and on. You're right about that. Although I'm going to have to listen to what he said, the entirety of what he said after. Anna Kruger just gave 7 rand. Thank you, Anna. It's kind of you. Very kind of you. All right, so what are these people doing? They're all trying to turn this way, but it's one-way street. Chris Swanepoel's watching. Who are you watching, Chris? I always feel like somebody's watching me. Rockwell. Remember that? 1980s. That mind's playing tricks on me. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I don't know why Feeder's apologizing. Yeah, U.S. intelligence agencies have done the research on Meyer. At this point, Alex Hogue, he's drifted far left liberal socialists, must be the Hermanus there. Yeah, what did Alex Hogue do that's disappointed you? Not enough. It's an awesome song. Yeah, it is a great song. What the terms are from the USDS. Exactly, it doesn't matter. And that's not changing. The terms are not changing. My mind's playing tricks on me. That was a great song, man. Rockwell, only song I ever heard from that guy. One song. That was it. Mind if I send an email? Feel free, Candace. Send me an email. Uncle and aunt were slaughtered on their farm. Well, I understand. It's close to a lot of people. I've lost friends who've been murdered on farms. You're very welcome, Alteitberg. Okay. Andres Muller, hope you're doing well. I'm okay. I've still got my event is today. Usually the past few days have been in the morning. Today it's the afternoon. So I have to break here at some point to go in and do my exercise with these guys. And then tomorrow will be the last one. And tomorrow I head out of here. I'm off to Pittsburgh Friday evening. And then Saturday morning off to Ohio. If there was a racist comment, my moderators didn't take it out. I'm not happy. I hope a moderator took that out and I didn't see it. I didn't see that. So, yeah, moderators, go back and find that comment. If Feener put something in there that was inappropriate, remove it. I don't want that stuff on my chat. That mayor will make President Trump aware that there are no foreign. Are you serious? That's what Alec Hogue said? Well, I will have to go check Biz News and check that out. No, the reason they're sending him is because he's not a threat. He's a known. In other words, Ramaphosa knows what he's getting. There will be no surprises. He's unlikely to step on his crank. I mean, watch my Biz News interview. I explain it. But Alex Hogue says there's no farm murders. What? Seriously? Are you misquoting him? Navigator, thank you for 70 rand. It's very kind of you. Super chat. I appreciate that. It's kind of you. Wow. Pottstown. Watch this diatribe by the appointment of Rolf. You understand? Well, I will. Who's diatribe? A diatribe is someone, you know, ranting and raving. Who's ranting and raving? Alec Hogue? Since they appeal tomorrow and years of delay after that. That is why so many South Africans no longer trust justice than ordinary people. The law is swift, but the politicians. That's a fair point. I made that point with Ronaldo. I said, look how quickly Vicky Momberg, who didn't assault anybody, didn't fire any dangerous weapons in the air, didn't steal from anybody. She was nearly carjacked and was in shock. And she was nearly carjacked by blacks. And the police responded, and there was a color in the black. And the black approached her, and she freaked out. And there was never any consideration of the fact that the woman was in shock. She was sentenced as a convicted felon to prison and went to prison for words she said after being the victim of a near carjacking. Yeah, that happened very quickly. Vicky Momberg was made an example of her and put in prison very quickly. Disgusting. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on Alec Hogue, you guys. Yeah, I've heard him say a few questionable things lately, but I didn't hear that, so I'm going to have to. What was a huge story? The Vicky Momberg story? Yeah. Yeah, horrible stuff there. Horrible stuff. Let me just check on something here very quickly. 59, okay. Hey, Debbie Fox, what's going on? Debbie's a fox. So if you're found guilty, you can't be in Parliament. You must be guilty of you must be a custodial sentence greater than 12 months and not have a fine that will obviate the sentence. Business editor Al Hogue details how President Ramaphosa's appointment Rolf Myers was one of the smart decisions presidency. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that. One of the smartest decisions of his presidency. Oh my gosh. A presidency marked by dumb decisions. Look, it's not a bad decision. I suppose that's a pretty low bar. You could say it's one of the best decisions of his presidency because most of his decisions have been pretty poor. Yeah, it's not going to move the needle. Not going to do the needle. Nothing's going to happen there. Nothing's going to happen. Anyway, it's funny. Well, the word finally got out. We have 359 people currently here. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that. No, I will look at that. I will look at that. They also said that they went a little further than my criticism of President Trump. And on the video that I did, they kind of said, I forget exactly what they said, but it was more like in the title and the description, more like I went after President Trump. Nope, I just said what he did was questionable. Yeah, but I didn't agree with it. So they made it sound like I was an anti-Trump guy. That's like the Rebecca Davis at Daily Maverick making it sound like I'm a pro-Trump guy. Double standards, part-time beneficiaries walk, rand manipulation, treason against country, lying about genocide, but we want to force Malema. Huh? Who's got treason against country? Lying about genocide. Who's lying about genocide? There's no max force against Julius Malema. He had multiple charges, each of which could have covered far longer than the 5-year sentence he was given. But Julius Malema has incited terrorism, exhorting his followers to attack 43 clicks locations, never charged for domestic terrorism. Julius Malema has incited violence in the murder of South Africans, never held complicit as an accessory in a murder. Julius Malema and his EFF are responsible for the collapse of the VBS Bank and the loss of life savings for black go-go's and Tannies. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Burgundy. You seem to be a little bit out of touch. Yes, he's one of the most hated people in South Africa. Garrett, I disagree. There's nothing wrong with a geriatric being ambassador. They're very smart people who can be ambassadors who are that age. Look, at least they've named an ambassador. But, you know, they've been lying to us all this time. They got an ambassador now. Comments were brutal. Must get longer. Oh, the sentence must be longer. Yeah, I think that's fair. 381 people here now. Hit that like button. 196. That's only half. What's going on there? Anyway, not enough. Well, Bubba, that's what we were asking earlier. Did you think it was enough or not enough? Most people said not enough. Yep. I don't think anybody said it was enough, to be honest. At least I don't recall seeing anybody saying that. I'm puzzled by people who get tattoos around their ankles. I don't get that. That's right, Sloth Pup. Well, I do take sides, but I don't do it publicly. I do take sides. I definitely have sides, but I don't do it publicly yeah. People are a bit behind the stream. I think you're right about that, Hasigi. Most Afrikaners don't trust Rolf. Says Rolf Meyer to Washington is one of the best appointments. Yeah, Gate McKenzie also made stupid comments about Meyer. Okay, I haven't seen that. Commie bunch seemingly pandering to the socialist clown show. No, Brent Pazell is not in his 80s. Wait, don't know if this was mentioned already, but EFF tried to block in for it. No, that wasn't mentioned. Yes, the U.S. will accept Rolf Meyer. There's no basis to reject him. No basis whatsoever. So, yeah, it's they'll accept him. They're not going to reject him. There's no reason to reject Rolf Meyer. Justice delays, justice denied. 5 months have been married. 5 months. 5 moths? 5 months? That's interesting. I think you meant 5 months. I think that's what you meant there. Yeah. I was going to say something. I lost track of it there because I was reading that comment. Go back and maybe I can prompt myself on it again. Jordan 23 likes. That's a little bit better. Gate McKenzie, code. Had to do with trusting Rolf Meyer. Sloth, they don't take sides. Yeah. No, but I mean, when I have my bias, I talk about it. But yeah, no, I'm not taking sides. I did ask Dr. Mulder for a promise this morning. I asked in tongue in cheek. I said, remember when the DA under its white agriculture minister, led by John Steeneisen, repeatedly told people not to vote for smaller parties because that means the ANC wins, and it was wrong. ANC. Yeah, I know that. 10 heads. When the DA told everybody that, and then those people don't vote for smaller parties because the ANC will win. Well, people didn't vote for smaller parties, and the ANC didn't win. So I asked Dr. Mulder if he would make a promise as leader of the Freedom Front Plus. If the DA continues to implode and it becomes a small party, will he promise not to tell people not to vote for the DA? Is it Bornman? Bornman. Just want to know if you were lied to in our history books that our ancestors Dutch and German earlier said we only have. I never said that. See, people hear what they want to hear. I never said that. What kind of bullshit is that? Where are you getting that from? I never said that. I never said you only have German DNA. What a bunch of horse shit. But thank you for the respect. But to see people hear what they want to say, that's not what I said. That is not what I said. I said the largest DNA contribution to the Afrikaner community is German. And that's a fact. Followed by Dutch, Huguenot, and it may hurt some of y'all's feelings, but Khoi, San, and Indonesian as well. So I never said you only have German DNA. I said there are some people who have no Dutch DNA whatsoever, who are Afrikaners. That's what I said. That's what I said. See, people always misquoting me. I don't know why. It's there. And the bluff man was tied up and robbed. Oh, no, it's been in the residential areas for a couple of years, Elena. Yeah, it's already been there for a while. We used to stay next to Meyer's secretary in Pretoria during the negotiations. She told us Meyer was selling out the Afrikaners. Yep. Yeah, he just got notification. That's weird. Tripped on his first interview. Yeah, Jordan Hill Lewis made a boo-boo. No, it's okay, Annalie. No, it's okay. You were mistaken. Thank you for the respect comment. I appreciate that. But people don't hear. I did not say that you're only German. That's a silly statement. I mean, I'm not that silly. I'm not that uninformed. What I said is that Afrikaners, because the story, that story about the Russian refugee program, which doesn't exist, and I questioned it, and I was right to question it. But I said, because the Russians said they're descended from Dutch settlers. That's not true. I mean, even being mostly descended from Dutch settlers isn't even true. I mean, look at the names. Look at the name, that alone. But you don't need that. They've done DNA studies. And most Afrikaners are, the largest admixture of DNA comes from German settlers, then Dutch, and then French Huguenot. Yep. And then Khoi, San, and other things. But not everybody has Khoi and San. Not everybody has Indonesian. Not everybody has French. Not everybody has, but most people have all of that. So that's what I said. I never, it's okay. I know you don't have to apologize. I'm just saying, but people People hear things that aren't said. And I've covered this before. Yep, many, many times. But thank you for the comment. But yeah, so I didn't say that. I said French Huguenot. I had 4 videos earlier, Kathy, an interview and 3 videos. Miki's laughing about German DNA, or you got your tongue out. Not really sure what that means. Hey, Hank, what's going on, man? Long time no see. Exactly. German, French, Dutch, mixed race. Yep. Well, Dutch is the Netherlands, Loretta. About 6% German, the rest Swedish, and the milkshake of others says Sicily. Yep. See, there you go. I have all those in my DNA. Malema brought in a second advocate yesterday today because he knew they would get a sentence. Yeah, the future looks bright. That's exactly what I said in the video. Yeah. No, there's a record of it. So, but thank you, Anley, for your comment. I appreciate it. My mom's parents was Dutch, so yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, the Germans are the largest portion of settlers all the way through the 19th century. It made the Germans. Yeah, but even Afrikaners have English and Scotch in them too. Yep, and even some Irish. Don't mention the Khoi ancestors, says Hendo. German, French DNA. Okay. My husband's grandmother is the same Khoi that the movie was made about. Really, Helena? That's interesting. You're very welcome, Tina. Good to see you there. Chris Poppins is not going to run yet. Probably going to the private sector. 75% German and 7% Dutch, says Joe Texas. See? I don't know much about Norwegians being there, but there may be some. So why do they speak Flemish? Why does who speak Flemish? The people in the Walloon region of Belgium? Because they speak Flemish. Just from South Africa. Full blood South African has all the DNA. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay. Right. Link to the study. There's lots of studies. I don't have to look for them. I'm not going to do that. I've already provided that in the past. Not to ask questions in news, but I've got a major crisis at hand. Such an email. Rapid Bunny. Okay, well, I'll have to look at it when I get a chance, but I've got to exit now. 401 people currently here, 253 likes, a little bit of super chat revenue. How about some more likes? But I've got to go, folks. I've got to do a presentation here at the bottom of the hour. So thank you very much. Take care. God bless. We'll have night owls later tonight, unless I'm knackered. And then tomorrow I'll be headed out to, hey, Ro, how's it going? Tomorrow I'll be headed out to Pittsburgh, and then on to Columbus, Cleveland, and Erie. All right, so what's the difference between Dutch and German? They're not the same. They're not the same. Yep. All right, guys. Cheers.